Gervais. How you doing, sir?
Don't mind me cleaning up cereal.
Yeah, Opie's he feels compelled
this isn't being broadcast, is it?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Surely you're going to tighten this up and then put it
Yeah,
up.
and then we record it, and then we tighten it all up, take out the dead
really
spots,
professional.
unentertaining spots.
Right, let's start now.
Okay,
Press play and record. Just press play and record there.
Yeah,
okay, we're on.
Now we're on. Now we are actually doing a show.
That really doesn't make us feel good, but we hear it all the time. Is this being heard by anybody?
Listen.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It wasn't a criticism. It was a compliment.
A lot of people come in and have no idea the show's actually on, and they're just bullshitting, talking about anything, and then they'll go, when do we start? It's like, you've been on for 20 minutes just babbling, talking about how small their penises are, or they've been raped when they were a child or something that they didn't want out over the air.
Roland had a point.
This is just like Letterman.
Yeah, exactly.
Roland pointed to our cutout so you know who's who, I bet, right?
He did indeed, yeah.
I saw that go down. I'm like, oh, great.
Did Roland tell you that he was vomiting and shitting last night walking on 73rd Street due to food poisoning? We're lucky we have him today.
Really?
Yeah.
Has he cleaned it up?
Probably not.
So.
I'm really happy you're here. I'm a little nervous, a little starstruck. Big
I
fan.
know.
No.
Big fan.
Really?
Yeah.
The Office. I mean, ridiculous. Love it.
Thank you very much.
Got the box set. Wasn't watching it when it was originally on, but got the box sets and just couldn't stop watching the goddamn thing. You are the consummate tool, the consummate jackass on that show. I just watch it and go, how did he capture the essence of this middle management douchebag so well?
It's so much fun to play the fool, the idiot. It's in extras I sort of play more the straight man, I suppose. I'm more the normal guy. I'm more the Tim character.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun to say the worst thing possible, just the most stupid thing you can say.
I don't know
so liberating.
How you get that. How do you... The writing, but you got to know how. Did you ever work with someone like that?
Yeah, no, well, I worked in an office for 7 years.
Oh, okay.
And
that explains
that's
it.
where you get the management speak and the petty backbiting and all that. Just that minutiae of life,
and you run into those people that just think they're funny. And
well, The Office was actually a comedy about comedy, I think. I mean, we never said that at the time, but it was always getting stuff off my chest about, people who thought they were funny would shout catchphrases and, use that, not have a mind of their own, really. Just, they'd find each other because they all shouted, "Was up?"
Yeah,
Is that sort of thing you want to go on?
Yeah, that's what...
I know, yeah.
What's up? Oh, yeah, great. I love that.
Every office was doing that. What's that?
There's a scene in season 2 where you do motivational speaking, and it's one of the most uncomfortable. I was embarrassed for the cat. It was like, how did you bring that out of me? It was so good.
Well, it's so funny, isn't it? Because it even makes me cringe a little bit when I put on the baseball cap and try and be cool and try and talk hip hop. But there's a bit of me that thinks, I wonder if there's anyone out there who thinks that I think this is really cool. Just for a split second. And the press go, oh well, he's just like David Brent. I go, no, I'm not like David Brent. I'm not. I talk like him. I used my voice and I used my face. And it really annoys me that anyone thinks I'm like David Brent.
Right.
So
you're not acting. You just
it's
stepped into it.
It's the
exactly. It's a real documentary.
Right.
It's the subtleties too, like the way your eyes will kind of dart back and forth as you're talking, not even comfortable in your own skin.
Well, I wasn't. I was never trained as an actor. But when I watched television, I always thought people overacted, oversold a point. You don't need to. You use your hands and you don't finish sentences. You don't need to spell stuff out. So it was sort of like an exploration into sort of body language.
You're fidgeting with the tie when
someone's lying,
something.
When they can't look someone in the eye. Yeah,
it's one of the. Yeah, it's such typical like body language. You could totally read that. You're uncomfortable. You're lying. You just bombed. I love when you even realized as your character that you just bombed and you slowly back out of the room and kind of look and wait for some reaction.
The worst thing in the world.
That never comes.
Isn't a bad joke the worst thing in the world to be part of? Even in an office, someone makes a bad joke and you have to laugh politely, but you're dying inside. It's the worst feeling in the world. Pretending to have to.
It's interesting you say that because Jim Norton to your left there, he brought something great to this program. Ed and I have been doing radio a long time, and when we try something and it bombs, we would get that uncomfortable feeling and want to move on quickly to the next thing as fast as humanly possible. He was the one that brought it to our show to, wait a minute, slow down and let's enjoy that bomb for a while.
The first time it happened, like somebody said something and it completely bombed, and we were ready to move on, and Jimmy goes, no, let that sit.
Yeah.
You let that just sit and simmer now. And I'm sitting there going,
What?
You crazy?
Why would you do that?
I think you've got to get a sound effect. When everyone makes a really bad joke, just the sound of, like, tumbleweed.
Oh, no, we got that.
We do have the crickets.
We're on the same page.
We got crickets. And then we got this one. Dead silence, and then...
Oh, he's got the headphones.
Oh, yeah, dead silence. And the car wreck.
These are all the ones.
Or one cough in a church hall.
Well,
oh, is that a good one?
Can we play all? Can we play them all for him?
Yeah,
if you do it, you got him on.
Come on.
If you do a bad joke in this show, you get one of the following.
Make sure he's on first.
You on? Me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to mess up that hair of his. I guess you're doing TV today, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So you get the classic.
Yeah.
Then you get the Kelsey Grammer.
He just fell
Falling down. Then we get,
the old game show ending.
Still good.
Yeah.
and then over the top. And then we did Price is Right. When you get the price wrong. So we enjoy a good bombing on this show.
What you should do, though, you wouldn't need those if you just made good jokes all the time.
Now, see?
I mean,
Why
a lot
didn't
of
we ever
work's
think
gone
of
into
that?
those, but we could eradicate those. Let's just do good jokes from now on.
Think of that.
The subtle. Here's another great part of season 2, is that they bring in new people and new characters, and one of them is a girl in a wheelchair. And you're constantly moving her. It's a constantly like adjusted, but it's never really like I don't think spoken about. It's just a constantly like pulling her back a little bit or moving her forward. Just always
because you
violating
can. You'd
her.
never do that to anybody, but you'd never just pick someone up and move them out of the way. You'd say, "Excuse me," but because it's on wheels, bang. And I know that happened to people.
Oh
people
my
that,
God.
I know disabled people that said that sometimes at a party someone would just move you out of the way because they can. And of course, also he wants to be seen as helping disabled people. So every opportunity he wants to be the one on camera. That's why he's doing it. Everything he does is because it's being filmed. Absolutely everything.
Right.
That's why we had to make it so clear that it was a documentary all the time. We had to keep reinforcing that because without that, it's a boring sitcom. But when you suddenly know he's acting like it's because he wants to be famous, it suddenly sort of comes to life.
My girlfriend brought up a good point when we were watching your version. The American version, they kind of hide their contempt for each other, where you guys let it out a little more. Your contempt of each other, sitting there and just being pissed off, and you'll let people know, like, you don't like this person. Where there's more phoniness.
But that's
I
how it
think
works
that's more American.
Yeah, that's how it is
It's like
in
there's
America.
this phoniness here in an
everybody
office
but
where,
the person.
Yeah, you won't tell that person. Yeah.
Really? Because I
general,
think
definitely.
that there's a misconception that the English are very, very reserved and can't get out their feelings.
No, I
think when it comes to sort of like bitchiness, then we do that. That's what you do after work. You go, you sit down every night and go, oh, you're not happened to me, and it's sort of like that camaraderie, I suppose. Yeah, we do. I suppose we do. Yeah.
And I saw, I was like, who's that girl? I know the girl Dawn and stuff, and she was from Shaun of the Dead.
That's it. She got with Simon Pegg, who's
you know Simon.
I love him. I think he's amazing, and he's got a new film coming out called. Has he been on here?
He's supposed to come in. We have him booked. That movie is amazing.
So funny.
Yeah, he's hysterical.
He's got a funny little head as well. He's like a cartoon head.
Funny.
Telling me he looks like Charlie Brown that grew up. But he's lovely, Simon. He's great.
That is one of my go-to movies. Like, I will just pop that on, and you can't help but just love it and love the character.
But he's such a nice, funny man as well.
I can't wait to have
he's
him
great.
meet
He's
him.
great. I'll tell you, when's he coming on?
I don't know. We got to work that out. When?
I'll tell him I love it.
Roland,
guy.
have you noticed Roland? Our
he's coming in April.
In April.
In April?
Yeah, that's when he's coming to the U.S.
You wore an office shirt for today. You are just such a tool sometimes.
I hope it's a bootleg and you get in trouble.
No, it's the real thing. They sent it to me. It's official.
It's official?
Yeah.
He gets a little nervous, and he has a very hard time talking on mic.
Well, why don't we show him?
Which is just horrid.
He's a great booker for the show, but when it comes to actually talking about stuff, what do you like about The Office?
He's behind-the-scenes
The
guy.
English version of The Office.
The English version?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just called The Office in England.
Yeah.
It's called The Office. The American version.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
No, it's funny, witty. Ricky's amazing in it.
All right, why is he amazing?
He's hysterical.
I'm gonna have this sort of bullying when he's being nice about me. I'm on his side. It's just me and you against the rest of them. Okay, right. Let's keep this fair. Okay, you go for it.
But he's very shallow. He won't give you any substance to why he likes
you never
anything.
get deep. He can never get deep.
And when it gets really uncomfortable, don't say a word, because that's when this bit gets really good. All right, so why is he amazing in The Office, Roland?
Just his comedy style, his writing, his timing with the cast, Steve Martin.
You're terrible. That's fine.
Just let him hang.
There was nothing wrong with that at all.
You know what? That was actually the best he's ever done. Ever.
I've seen smoother testimony in child molesting trials.
They said you've seen a lot of those.
From Roland. You did good. Don't worry about it.
All right, thank you.
Oh,
Does he have to go soon?
Ricky.
What's the deal with extras?
10:40.
What's that?
What's the deal with extras, and why am I asking you?
I don't know, because you're afraid Ricky
Extras is on HBO on now. I think that it's the second.
season 2.
It's kind of the way we get so you can plug it and tell people that don't know what it's
let's
about.
not be subtle about this.
Are you guys always scheduled for season 2?
Well, I think I'm here to hang out with you guys.
Sal, you're right.
I've lived 3,000 miles to meet you. No. I did. I couldn't make it last time. I was down to do it last time.
We had you on the phone once.
I know. Yeah, I remember that. No, it was great.
So what's the extras about, though? It's a little weird to have extras on HBO. Explain that. Is it?
Well, it's.
Is it you guys doing the commentary, or I'm confused? I have
no show.
The show's called Extras.
Oh,
You're
the show
thinking
extras.
DVD
Oh my
extras.
God, duh. Holy shit!
sorry.
I'm thinking DVD extras. I'm sorry.
No, well, yeah.
Car crash. All right. I'm heating up.
Does anybody remember laughter?
Holy crap! What
it's
a
a
loser.
show called Extras.
No, I know.
And it follows.
Yeah.
Great.
You play the beautiful thing is he's like an extra in it, and it's like you play. You're very good at playing like just a simple guy, like you make regular people interesting. An office manager, an extra. That's what I love about it. It's like you don't need to play the big shot. You just play just an average ass and make them.
I don't think it's fun to play the big shot either, is it? I just think when I start giving myself roles about a cop who lost his badge because he was drunk, and now his wife's been kidnapped and he's going to get the badge. That's when you know it's finished. When you start believing that. When you only take roles where can I have a gun? Well, no, not really. Or can I have a gun? Well, an office manager wouldn't have a gun. I think he might. I think he might have a gun.
Just playing the regular guys.
It's fun to play the putts. It's much more fun playing David Brent than Andy Millman in many ways, because it's you and also when you're playing the putts, you can put other cast members off. That's the most fun for me, actually putting them off while I'm playing the thing. Whereas if you're playing the straight man, you can't really. So I need something else to keep my interest up.
It's so odd to watch that, because you don't think you're acting watching it. Like, do you find it difficult to play that character because it's so natural? When I watch The Office, I'm like, this is a guy, this guy. I've worked with these people, guys like this. Do you find it harder to act like that?
I don't find acting that hard.
Really?
I never get lost in the role. Very rarely you get lost in the role. This is the misconception when people say, "Oh, I was so into it."
Yeah.
You're not. You're thinking of lunch, and you're going, "Oh, they're not meant to stand there." You don't get lost.
You're not one of those. He taught me so much.
Everything
my character.
I'll tell you what. The cameraman puts me off, which is a bad
really?
thing. But yeah, I'd say, can I go further back? A light puts me off. So no, I don't get lost in the role. But maybe a few you get caught up in it. Some of the drama moments are more exciting than comedy, really. Like I remember one that we did where David Brent had to cry for his job back, and there you get really into it. You really you try and
where he begs not to be redundant. That where he's talking.
Exactly,
that was a great scene. It's like the one scene where he breaks down.
Well, that's the one scene I felt like a real actor as opposed to a bloke trying to make people laugh. But no, most of the time you're thinking, oh, these shoes are annoying me, or oh god, he's sniffing. The cameraman's sniffing. Everything. Anything puts me off, honestly, because you want it to get it just right, and You know, and I do get hungry very quickly, and lunch is coming up, and I start thinking, oh, come on. So, no, I'm not one of those people that worries about my method.
And do you find that it's difficult to have such hands-on with a project like that?
It's easier. But if you see, this is the thing about middle management. It's either no responsibility, where you leave and that's it, or total responsibility. It's being caught in that middle ground where you can't do everything you want, and you have to compromise, but you know, you have to do certain things. So no, I'd rather be in charge or just turn up and go home. It's that, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Makes for long days, though, I guess.
Well, if you're in charge, you can do anything. So I can suddenly go, I think David Webb would sit down for this.
It's like
which is fun, yeah.
Rewrite.
They capture everything perfect. It's like even things that like aren't like my favorite 2 scenes in the whole series were both non-comic scenes. It was one was that scene where he asked for his job back, and one is when Tim turns the microphone off.
Mine too. That's my 1 and 2, and they happen after each other. And we swapped them around in the edit as well. Originally, we were going to end with the Dawn thing. We thought we should end with you know, the other way around.
Oh, what was the Dolly Parton line?
Yeah. Apparently, there's a country station that uses that as a jingle, and I just think of it's the one when I go, Dolly Parton. If you want the rain, you got to put the rainbow. You got to put up with the rain, and people say she's a big pair of tits. And I just think of Dolly Parton listening to country radio, and suddenly hear someone talk. Why are they saying that about me? What's that from? Who's this DJ just saying that? This is strange. I'm Dolly Parton.
But this is see where you're getting them. Mackenzie Crook, right? Did I say his name? Is giving you the massage, and he's just giving him like you're sitting there, and he's standing behind him, and he's giving him. It's the awful massage that someone gives you at an awkward moment. It's the stiff, like just kneading the hands on the neck, and it doesn't feel good, and you can tell it doesn't feel good.
And
like captured that.
That's the longest pause we've ever done. That's the longest silence we ever did. We timed it just for our own amusement. Yeah, just like a couple of nerds going. That's the longest we've ever gone without saying anything. Just looking at the camera. That is the most fun in the world, to look at a camera. It's the most. I mean, I miss it in everything I do, which is a problem for an actor.
Yeah, because
all the time.
Don't look at the fucking camera.
Absolutely,
right.
I just want to go. just turn around and just stare straight down the lens.
Shit, that was the look.
It's so much fun.
That was the look for a split second, you bastard.
100 years ago, they nailed it 100 years ago. They're just the idea of that. I'm with this idiot, and that's you know, that's just. This is radio. People at home are going, he's looking at the camera.
Fuck off, I'm entertained as hell. I just gotta tell people out there, it's a very good visual.
There's a scene that Jimmy always brought up as hysterical, and I finally got to say it. When you're listening to the answering machine, your answering machine with that hot girl in the,
Oh, yeah, listening back,
and you're listening like, no, you're just like talking back to it. And then you go to throw it out the window as a joke and turn around and you drop it. It falls right in the trash can.
First take. I was so lucky.
You wanted it to go in the trash.
Of course, yeah. And so it looked great.
It looked great, and then it's broken and... You're just an ass.
If you look, I can't believe my luck. It falls, I go, you can say, I can see it, that I go, wow, what a shot. It's just that fell straight in the can.
Oh, is that perfect? It was like slapstick and perfect embarrassment. It was exactly what happens when you're trying to be funny in front of a chick and you stink. That was exactly what happens. It was perfect. Fucking thing. He's just trying to be a goof and he drops it in the garbage like a boob. Right there, you're emasculated. You cannot recover from that.
No, there's no coming back. Creepy. It must be odd going from local, because I'm sure in England. You couldn't go out without people recognizing you.
I'm like Elvis.
But you could, yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Well, in the sense that I eat burgers at 3 a.m.
What a great diet he had. He just died. How do you not love someone that eats fucking like peanut butter and banana sandwiches and dies shitting? What a blow to all fucking women that was.
Well, actually, he died not shitting.
Oh, was he not shitting? Is that
was the problem, I think.
He was trying.
I think he burst his brains draining. That's the thing. I think so, yeah.
Let's try. Let's go. But now you come over to the U.S. now, and where you were probably safe from being recognized, and now people are recognizing you here.
But you know what? It's sort of slightly different. It's different for loads of reasons. One is it's not on your doorstep. It gives you the creeps more if it's not right on your doorstep. It makes more sense in America as well. It sort of makes more sense to be famous in America than it does in England.
Really?
And that's just an attitude. That's just an attitude. No, it's really strange. You know?
Is it kind of also because you're here when you're here on business.
Absolutely.
So
exactly.
it's
yeah.
all right.
It might change if I lived here, and I think it's that feeling.
It comes with the territory. Yeah.
If you're famous, and not here so much, but in England, it's claustrophobic because you're never not famous. You can't turn it off. So
Right.
You can never go. That'd be the best of both worlds, You're famous when you need to jump a queue, but then you're not famous when you're shopping for pants. But you can't have that.
Yeah.
You can't have that, So you can't pick and choose.
Yeah.
And I refuse to wear a beard.
John Mayer came into the Comedy Show last week. He had the worst fake mustache I've ever seen.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he came upstairs. I guess he's been getting hassled because of Jessica Simpson, but it was the worst fake mustache.
What, did
when he
people
put shoe
recognize him?
polish on your face and talk jive, stupid. It's not a real mustache.
What's a good fake mustache, though?
Just one that looks like it was grown. I mean,
Okay.
that looked like somebody had thrown it at him and he caught it under his nose with luck.
Did everyone recognize him as John Mayer with a really bad fake mustache?
I don't know because
That would be even worse.
Well, he took it off once he was upstairs,
Yeah.
but like when I saw him walking by, I just wanted to hug him. I'm like, that's the fucking worst thing I've ever seen,
You
John.
should just clip and wear a Hitler one, because who would talk to anybody with a Hitler mustache?
Nobody. Start spouting his philosophies.
Let's get
Do you know that Hitler based his image on Charlie Chaplin? That's true. I always wondered why he got that idea. No, he was fascinated by Charlie Chaplin. He watched The Great Dictator twice, and that's true.
So he kind of made and ruined that whole look, that mustache look for
that would have been
everybody.
really popular if he had come along and ruined it. Yeah,
Like after 1945, who wore that mustache?
I know.
The little thin
well,
mustache.
no one's calling their kids Adolf anymore either.
No.
That he killed that
And
name.
it's never come back. Even like the old, the old circus weightlifter curly wax handlebar mustache. You occasionally see some.
Usually a band, a retro rock
Yeah.
band would go, hey, let's all have Hitler moustaches.
Yeah.
They don't, do they?
And what Hitler thing you never see? Hey, Bob, I would come into work with the little Hitler mustache. You'd be like, they'd look at you like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
And what about the guys? That's the only way they look good. Some people they know they look better with facial hair. And,
Well,
and
exactly.
you're one of these guys. Man, I would look like a 10 if I could just
do the Hitler mustache?
Well, that's the goatee is, looks good.
right.
And I tried to grow one once, and I thought I looked like Robert De Niro in Angel Heart, but it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It comes through grey and ginger, and
That's I'm at the point where it's like I'm about ready to get rid of this.
Now yours
It's
looks
too
good.
much grey.
Because usually it's a fat man beard.
Yeah,
Usually a
yeah.
fat guy will wear that.
They use
because
it to
gives them a
thin
bit
their
of
face
an
down.
illusion of a chin.
Yeah, people think that it stops there,
My
actually.
face stops where the hair is.
Exactly, yeah.
Hey, we got a big
What?
Hey,
I have no
Ronnie.
idea.
a big radio star.
Ronnie.
Ricky Gervais.
Hello.
I was just here to hang out.
Let me tell you something.
right,
This
Ricky.
son of a bitch has not shown up before 12:01, and his show starts at noon.
What?
He's on
In
after us.
years.
He's on a show
Ron
after
from
us.
Ron and Fez.
Nice to see you.
He's
Nice
never
to meet
here
you.
early.
Never here early. He's always here late.
Now, here's the thing. I was told you were going to be here at 10 today. So I was going to come in early, act like I was just running a board in the background, just to hang out. Yeah.
I know that the car arrived. I felt bad just letting a guy sit out in the street in a car. So let's use it. Let's get here early.
But see, now I got this imaginary slight Mark David Chapman thing going on where I'm just, why would he do this? Why would he come in early and just waiting outside with a gun? But I was listening to you guys coming in.
Frightening.
Gush a little more. You guys should be gushing more.
Yeah, a little more. You think we should?
Yeah.
Just a tad.
How did it's
Someone said that the Chris Farley show came to 202.
It's true. You're
I
awesome.
tried to get him off it by
We're
talking
the
about Hitler,
worst.
but it didn't work.
Yeah, a little Hitler.
They said you'd make a great Hitler.
Every question is just so, how's it feel to be so super terrific, funny, brilliant genius?
Well, you get the same
Come
thing,
on,
Ronnie.
redress the balance. Insult me.
The new book, phenomenal, that you did where you just took your radio show and typed it out. I got it for Christmas. Someone
You know
gave
what?
it to me. And
I didn't even type it out. I got someone else to.
it's the radio show typed out. I'm going, why did I fucking think of this?
He wrote a book and he didn't even have to write it.
Sell it to the hardcores.
How great is that?
But you guys ought to think about doing this.
Is it really?
That is
Just
a
a radio
great
show?
idea.
Yeah.
In book form?
And the sad thing is, it's
Well,
fucking better than anything we've ever done. That's the problem. It's hysterical.
Well,
A little
you haven't
gushing coming out of you, you son of a bitch.
You haven't got
Oh.
Carl Pilkington, the oddest man in the universe, a man with a head like an orange who says ridiculous things. We discovered this guy, and he just says crazy things. He's what's the PC term? Moron.
All right. That's
Retarded.
Retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid dolt.
Let's go to O-Town Joe in Boston.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, Mr. Bennington, how you doing?
Good man.
Ricky, with all the actors you had in the first season of The Office, second season of The Office, were they all famous before, or like have they all got success from like the show?
Yeah, no. We always choose new people because I think it suspends your disbelief a little bit more. So we don't go to other people's little black book. We cast, and we did that with The Office. We did it with extras. I mean, apart from the A-listers. But it's nice to start from scratch because you're not watching it going, oh, that's so and so from what's its name. So no, we always cast.
That kind of sucks. You never get a fucking call back once you're done with the show with them. That's it. It's over, Johnny.
Well, now the receptionist is on Studio 60, though, and all those people blowing up, they're all doing well, right? Everybody from The Office.
Well, what I do is I take them down and I release them like little ducklings. And I can never help them again. But, my work is done.
You got a room filled of unknowns right here.
And so it shall remain.
He's typing this into a book right now, selling it on eBay later.
Let's go to John and Philly. John.
Hey, Ricky.
Hi.
Big fan.
Thank you.
Despite The Office and the extras being brilliant, your podcast was absolutely genius.
It's the favourite thing I do. It's honestly.
Your
No effort, I just sit there, Carl comes up with everything, and then I just type it out. I don't even type it out, we've done that, and I put it into a book. But it's great, because it's, you can say what you want, when you want, it can be any length, and TV takes, a long time. An episode would take a few months. So the podcast is so much fun for me. And I want Carl to become famous, because I know he'll hate it. I want him to be bothered in the street. I want people to go up to him and say, you've got a head like a fucking orange. And I want people to squeeze his little head.
Well, that's my question. Carl makes Homer Simpson look like Stephen Hawking. Is there any chance that you will tour with Carl?
He won't do it. I would love to get him on stage, just like in a little cage, like the Elephant Man, and just take him out.
John in Ohio. John.
Hey, what's going on, boys?
Hey. We'll clean up.
Ricky, love your work.
Thank you.
I got a question for you, boys. Is there any way that you can get Ricky to recite some of Steve C's bad acting?
Oh, boy.
I think that'd be hilarious.
I don't know if we have time.
Steve Carlisi is our production guy. Occasionally him and that gentleman Bill, that lunatic Charles Manson-looking guy right there.
Harry Dean Stanton.
Speaking of offices, voted most likely to kill us someday.
To kill everybody in here, yeah.
To go postal.
He's the guy.
He's the number one on the list.
He comes up with these sketches and scripts that he shows us, and they go into production and hammer them out, and we play them. And Steve, our production guy, the guy that puts these things together, he acted in one of them. And I use that term so loosely, I don't even want to come up with some kind of loose analogy. Yeah. It is completely... Here comes Steve now. Hi, Steve. Hello, how are you, Steve? And his acting is just second to none. If you're going to cast something in the future, consider Steve if you need somebody who can deliver lines like this. Here's a couple of lines. The first one I'll play is just a simple, why not? It's just, why not? The second one is him asking somebody, how did their parents die? This is a very serious question, very emotional. Let's listen to these next to each other, shall we?
Why not? How'd your parents die? Why not? How'd your parents die? Why not? How'd your parents die?
The emotional range
so humiliating.
Is just fantastic.
It's amazing.
And then when he's telling him how his parents died, here's his response.
That's terrible. I'm sorry.
Isn't it great?
I'm going to laugh the way they set you up there.
Someone's in the house, Steve. Someone's in the house.
What are you doing in my house?
That's all right.
And then he tells them. But listen to this sing-song bullshit.
What's my problem? You're in my fucking house.
What is...
Your head should pop out of a fucking laughing box when you deliver that.
Get the fuck out now.
That's anger. That's anger, and this is the only emotion he shows.
Get the fuck out now.
Yeah, like his teeth are clenched. And here's my favorite. This is... He's handling the situation. The girl wife comes in, and he's got to tell her now that he'll handle the situation. And you could almost see him, eyes half shut, that hand kind of waving her out as he delivers this.
No, nothing's wrong. Just stay in the living room. I'll handle it.
Nice stuff.
It's a burglar.
Oh, he's openly laughing at you.
These are the best acted lines I've ever seen.
You could play the part of a guy who lost his adrenal glands. That for whatever reason, he cannot.
He can't get any type of energy or emotion.
The house is on fire.
I'm thinking either a lot of shock therapy, a lobotomy victim, perhaps something like that.
I like that as an illness. I lost my adrenal gland. Where did you have it last? I had it in the car, and I was getting excited about stuff, and I looked under the seat, and now I don't care about anything.
There's a nail in my balls. Pull this nail out of my balls. It could be a character. It could work.
He is talented at the no thing, because he does no. That was actually him saying no as he's very excited. That was right as he lost his adrenal gland. He had the last bit of emotion.
No. I thought that was his car starting.
I mean, the battery's dead. Oh, it started. Him too.
Just love this halo gunfire I walk into.
Yeah. Well, whenever we have actors come in, we love to showcase our own actor, Steve Carlisi.
Yeah.
Isn't he wonderful?
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was okay. I think you get away with that. You'd get away with that on an awful lot of television programs.
Or a lot of awful television.
Exactly.
Same thing.
Oh, good.
I think you're probably around the average there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, your first compliment to the actor.
I see about 100 people to get one good actor. So, and many of them are much worse than that. Some of them are millionaires and are much worse than that. Absolutely.
Ooh,
yeah.
Second career.
Wow.
It's because people can survive with like soap operas now.
You're in my fucking casting room.
We should get Ricky out of here.
100.
We've been talking over an hour here.
That's been great fun.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Anytime you're
What's
you're
the
back
big
around.
plug there, Ricky? Extras season 2, of course.
On HBO.
Sunday nights
premiere
at 10.
Sundays, yeah, and then throughout the week.
Hope you're not afraid to take some pictures.
Let's take some
Because
pictures.
Jimmy Norton will accost you. He is known as one of these guys who, if he doesn't get a picture, like he loves you. If something happened where you had to go,
that's a good thing, though.
Yeah. But if something happened where you had to go, look, I'm sorry, I would love to, but I gotta go, and went to that elevator and didn't take a picture, he would sit down and go, that fucking scumbag is the worst piece of shit. A picture.
Not true. I'll say that. I'll say that regardless. No, I wouldn't say that because he was great to hang out with. The only guy I've ever said that about was Gene Simmons from Kiss, because he was contact to me after we interviewed him. But no, I mean,
Derek Jeter,
and Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson. Let's keep going from the Yankees.
De Niro turned me down.
De Niro
turned me down, and but he was pleasant about it. So I never.
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal was a douche. We have the same manager. And I asked
all of a sudden, there's a few more people.
And Mother Teresa, you called a cunt.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that. That was all.
She was a bit too good.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
There's something going on there.
Too good.
She was
too good.
Yeah. What's she after?
She was making up for something.
What is she after?
Yeah, and you never saw her with a guy.
Same as that Gandhi.
Right.
Yeah.
Both of them. Making up for something.
She wasn't a cunt. She was a cock tease. There's a big difference.
Fucking hell.
Libelous Catholic Church.
Jesus Christ.
Ricky's loving that.
Yeah. Amazing.
But no, I can never badmouth him. He's fucking brilliantly funny. It's
had a great time, too.
One of my favorite characters ever. There was Hawkeye Pierce and Louis De Palma, I thought, were the two best. All right, you want to see Archie Bunker? But he's got to be in the top 3 or 4 sitcom characters ever.
Way to judge.
That's great. He goes from like a scary cellmate to a really nice I like this.
Yeah, you should know half the things we know about him.
All right.
You to run.
We should go take some pictures, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
I'm not doing pictures. Fuck
Thanks.
Grab him.
All right, we'll be back in just a bit. Well, we got some audio from the